Every year, the NFC East is a very interesting division, but this season, I think it's finally time for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the division. They've had some good teams in the past, obviously the Super Bowl team, Nick Foles, but Dallas is regressing this year. The Giants aren't really there yet. I'm not a big fan of Washington and just what they've done. I think they'll be relevant and in the race, but this is the year where a 10-win, 9-win team wins this division. We saw it before with the Washington snuck in the playoffs. Even last year with Philly sneaking in the playoffs as a wild card team, and that's part of the reason why I think they're going to do it. They experience playoff football, and that's going to help them get to the season. But this season, this offseason in the NFL, we've seen a lot of big names being moved, a lot of new systems, a lot of new coaches, a lot of things that aren't going to be right going week one. Like with the Denver Broncos that you're going to see at the end of the season isn't what you're going to get week one because of everything that they've had change. Philadelphia Eagles don't have that. They're not bringing in new superstars. They got the same guys getting better. They got Jalen Hurts developing. They got Devonta Smith developing. They got 3 first-round picks. They didn't really lose any major pieces, so I think this is the year they're going to step up. Dallas lost some major pieces. Philly wasn't that far behind Dallas. Dallas beat them twice, but Philly, like they got some guys. They're going to be getting better. Nick Sirianni proved that he's a pretty good head coach so far. They have a really good run scheme going. They were really good rushing at the football, and that's something that helps you win games, especially in these late games later in the season, playing outdoors in cold Philly weather. You got a really good mobile quarterback. And the thing with Jalen Hurts is even when he was at Alabama and Oklahoma, he's not the best passer, but he's a really good runner. And the thing with Jalen Hurts is his biggest issues are his decision making. We've seen him throw pick sixes. We've seen him have bad games against the Giants. We saw him have a rough game against the Buccaneers in the playoffs. Like his biggest flaw is fixable. It's his decision making. It's throwing a pick late in the half in the red zone. It's turning the ball over in the red zone. It's taking a sack when you can't take a sack, trying to extend the play, fumbling the ball, stuff like that, where it's not issues where it's not lack of talent issues. Like he clearly has the talent to be a starting NFL quarterback, to be a star NFL quarterback, to be a guy you can win with, and you just got to get it done. Like he's proved that he's the talent. You just got to see him, put it together, win games. And I think a big part of that is going to be keeping the same guys around him, and that's what it looks like they're going to be able to do with Nick Sirianni. If you look at the Giants and Daniel Jones and his ability to be successful, it's because he's had injury history, something Jalen Hurts hasn't really had that bad of, even going back to college compared to other players like Tua Tagovailoa. And he's shown toughness, another thing Daniel Jones haven't had. But Daniel Jones has had a ton of change where the Eagles are looking like they're going to be able to keep the same guys around and build something there. They've got 3 first-round picks, like I said. They've got a good second-round pick. They can maybe package them together and make a move, get a guy who becomes available. If another star receiver defensive player comes available the way Tyreek Hill did, and Devontae Adams did, or they can go get best available because there's not major holes on this team. Like I said, they were a playoff team for a reason. They're a good football team. There's not major holes. You brought Jason Kelsey back at center, brought Frederick Cox back at defensive tackle. Like you're not losing some of your major pieces there. They're getting older. Yeah, and you're gonna have to start looking to replace them, and maybe you draft some late round guys to groom into what they were, but they're not. You don't have any major holes. You're like not a team that lost like the Bengals did solely because of your offensive line. You have a good receiver in Devonta Smith. Maybe you add a guy that's a move that you can make. Maybe a Garrett Wilson in the first round, something like that. You have Dallas Goedert. Maybe you add a tight end, take a little bit off of him. He's a really good tight end there. You have a good running back, James Conner, but or Miles Sanders. Maybe you add someone else just because of his injury history. Like you got options. You have moves to make, and you don't have to do anything major. You're just getting better. You're just growing as a team. You're in a really good spot, and this is the year that I think they're going to get it. Dallas has definitely took a step back. I know they've got some really good pieces on defense, and like Micah Parsons that are going to stay dominant for a while. Trayvon Diggs as well. But they're losing some receivers. They're losing some of their offensive line, and this is the year where you're going to step up, show Jalen Hurts is going to prove to everybody he's the quarterback, even though I don't think there should be any doubt. And he's going to step up, take over, win the division, and that's really going to catch a lot of people's eyes, in my opinion. I think it's right there for the Eagles to take it. Maybe you got to make a move or two to add to it besides just drafting guys, but it's right there for them to do it. The rest of your division is going backwards. You're going forwards. Like if Jalen Hurts can do it this year, I think this is the year the Eagles win the division. Like I said, they've got everything seems to be pointing towards the Eagles winning the division this season. And I just think they're going to do it. You got Darius Slay on defense. Like, they've got a lot of players that are good at football, and you combine them together, and you got a good football team. They made the playoffs. They're getting the experience they need. Your rookie head coach is no longer a rookie head coach. He's got a playoff appearance. I know they got killed, but a playoff appearance is a playoff appearance. Something a lot of other quarterbacks can say, like Justin Herbert, as good as a quarterback he is, has not made the playoffs. Jalen Hurts has. Like, that's just something that you look at. Another thing is, when Josh Allen was developing, similar play style to Jalen Hurts, we gave him a lot of time. People are rushing Jalen Hurts. I know Philly is different than Buffalo, but give the kid time. Don't put too much pressure on him. Don't ruin him. Let him do his thing. He's proven that he's good enough. So just sit back and watch it, because he plays a little different than what you're used to in terms of Carson Wentz and other Philly quarterbacks like Nick Foles. He's not a big throwing guy, but he's going to run the ball. He's going to score touchdowns, and he's going to win you games. And at the end of the day, NFL, it's all about winning games. Jalen Hurts, he's proven that he can win games. He won in college. He's made the playoffs very early in his career. I know it wasn't with a great record, but you get the job done. You did what you had to do. I think they can find a way to get the job done again this time and go out and win the division and take the NFC East and just really shut Dallas up and prove that it's going to be their division. They're going to make some good runs coming up.